Blake? What are you doing?
What? We're just playing Mortal Kombat.
But don't you know what day it is, Blake?
Of course I know, it's just Tuesday.
No, it's Wednesday.
Ah! Alright, we gotta go!
What is going on, movie fans, and welcome back to Be Kinda Rewind, where we will be ranking all of your favorite movies. I'm Owen Miles.
And I'm Blake Blodgett, and today we're going to be going over a childhood classic in the Shrek franchise.
That's right, and I think I speak for both of us when I say, for sure, a favorite for both of us as kids.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. I personally watched the first movie way more times than I would like to admit on camera. I can honestly probably quote the whole thing front to back.
That's great information, but enough with the preamble, let's get on into the first one. Shrek was released in 2001 and quickly became one of the most iconic movies of all time.
It ended up spawning a whole franchise of movies and even a spin-off series in the Puss in Boots films.
It also spawned a whole new type of animated film, as a lot of Shrek's success came down to being an anti-fairy tale, as our ogre friend Shrek is simply trying to get his swamp back from the other fairy tale creatures, but along the way, might find love and friendship.
I mean, isn't that
Shrek.
what we're all looking for
Yeah.
at the end of the day? Love, friendship. It's hard to find sometimes, admittedly. I don't have much
man.
friendship with him.
Hey.
I'm kidding, of course.
Say that as we literally live together. But yeah,
Live
anyway.
together and have a show.
Back to Shrek. Yeah, this movie was pretty successful.
Just a little successful.
First ever Oscar for Best Animated Feature. That's
It's
one thing.
Funny enough, the studio who made it, DreamWorks, they put people who worked on Prince of Egypt, they put people on Shrek as a punishment because they thought Shrek was going to be awful. They had no faith in Shrek. And then it ended up being way more successful than Prince of Egypt. And like you said, won the first ever Best Animated Feature.
Yeah.
And spawned a franchise, spawned spin-offs. Even spawned a new type of animated film. Like you saw stuff like Hoodwinked come out that were kind of like the same thing, like spoofs of fairy tales.
Right, exactly. The cast of this is fantastic. I know you said earlier, like you were mentioning to me earlier, the original voice of Shrek was going to be Chris Farley.
Yes, of SNL fame, former friend of Adam Sandler. He actually recorded like most of the original dialogue. But then when they kind of were reworking the animation, they needed to go back and redo a lot of the dialogue, and unfortunately Chris Farley had passed away, so that's when they hired Mike Myers.
And I think Mike Myers did an absolutely fantastic job. Same with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, absolutely.
Eddie Murphy as Donkey is probably one of the best parts of this franchise, if I had to say.
100%. And I would even say Cameron Diaz as Fiona, like, I think she's a very good character in the sense of, like, she's not just like your typical damsel in distress. Like, she's very capable of taking care of herself. We see that in the scene with Robin Hood, who basically tries to save her, but she doesn't actually want to be saved.
No, absolutely not. And so, another thing, this is also one of the many movies to inspire a Broadway musical. I would know as a theater minor.
It's not a good Broadway musical from what I've heard, but...
it's a good school musical, at least, from what I've experienced, at least.
He was a theater kid. He's weird, you know. All those theater kids, guys, are weird. I played football, you know, much cooler. Even though I do improv comedy now, so I'm kind of an honorary theater
that's kind of my fault. But yeah.
That is your fault. Everything is your fault.
I know a lot of people, when the trailer for Shrek 5 came out, were like, oh, that doesn't have the same animation as this one. And it's like, and that made me think, just like, this animation style is just so unique in its own way.
Absolutely.
It's not stop motion, but like it's still like really different.
Yes.
Anyway,
and with that, we are ranking, and I have it at 2. Might be a controversial opinion.
I still have it at 1. Nothing can beat the original for this franchise, at least.
I guess we'll see when Shrek 5 comes out, but I don't have much hope for that.
I've heard. I don't know about that either. Whenever it comes out.
Maybe 6-7 years.
All right, we are going to take a break real quick, and we will see you back for Shrek 2 and 3 after the break.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. Oh, you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Welcome back, everybody. We're not going to keep you long. Let's just get right into Shrek 2, one of my personal favorites. Shrek 2 was released 3 years later in 2004 and follows Shrek and Fiona trying to navigate meeting Fiona's royal family to get her father's blessing after their wedding.
But Fiona's fairy godmother and her son, Prince Charming, try to break Shrek and Fiona up, as they feel Charming is the rightful prince of the kingdom of far, far away.
Will Shrek be able to save his marriage? Let's find out, folks.
And this is when the, Shrek villains really start to take off. Not saying that Farquaad wasn't an icon in himself, but
I think it tells you a lot that we didn't really mention Farquaad talking about the first movie.
Yeah.
He's such, not to make a pun, he's such a little part of that first movie. But Fairy Godmother and Prince Charming are, very funny, very iconic. Even the opening scene where Charming, goes to save Fiona because he's supposed to be the one to save Fiona.
Yeah, according to the fairy tale and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And then he finds the big bad wolf there, which is very fun.
She's already been saved and she's on her honeymoon and
with who?
With who?
And then I think the fairy godmother is such a funny villain. Like the scene where she takes Harold with her and it's to the drive-through and she's like, my diet is ruined. I hope you're happy.
That was so
We've all been there, just in the drive-through, and just
I really didn't want to get McDonald's today, but you made me. It's all your fault.
Well, no,
anyway,
I've
give
said
me 20 chicken nuggets.
I've said that to you because you've just been like, hey Blake, you want to go to McDonald's or Taco Bell? And I'm like, I can't say no.
It's McDonald's. What do you expect? They had 50-cent burgers a week ago.
I didn't go with you though. That was not a great night. We don't talk about
We don't need
that.
to talk about that. Anyway, back to the franchise we're talking about.
Back to actually doing our job and talking about movies.
So, I'd like to mention, we mentioned the writing a little bit with that whole drive-through bit, but the whole writing staff of this franchise in general, some of the most creative jokes I've ever seen in my life. It's just you expect something else and then it completely does something completely different.
Yeah, exactly. It's just very sharp-witted humor. There's humor there for, obviously, to entertain a kid, but then the Shrek is definitely one of those franchises where if you're an adult, you're not going to be bored.
Yeah.
It's something I dread eventually being a parent, is having to watch really boring kids movies with my kids.
That's what my dad doesn't like, watching kids movies.
No, he just introduced you to Nightmare on Elm Street at 8 years old.
That is a true story, by the way.
That's
So
we love
yeah. Also, just charming in general. Also, one of my girlfriend's favorite actresses, Julie Andrews, plays
Fiona's mom.
Plays Fiona's mom,
we should probably get into a little bit of the actual story.
Yeah.
Fiona takes Shrek to the kingdom of Far, Far Away, which is the kingdom her parents rule over, because she wants her father to give Shrek his blessing, even though they're already married. So I don't get how that works. If you're already married, I think it's a little late for the blessing at that point.
It's fine.
Like for Mia, would you ask her dad after you guys got married for the blessing?
No.
Shout out Dan.
Let's go.
Dan Calabrese.
Anyway, on that note, so
barely talked about the movie, but it's
we just talked about a bunch of other stuff. But
movie's
anyway, good. The movie is really good, I would say.
If you haven't watched this almost 20-year-old movie, watch it.
Even if what I'm about to rank kind of contradicts that for me, but I still think it's really good.
Definitely going to contradict.
All right. Anyway, let's get to that ranking. It's actually my number 3.
It's my favorite.
That's very controversial for some people, I feel like, because a lot of people say that it's one of the best sequels of all times in terms of franchise. So
it is, as that's why it's number 1.
It is, but like it's also not my favorite sequel in this franchise, actually.
This man and his controversial opinions. We just can't agree on anything.
That seems to be a common trend on the show.
I don't think we'll ever have an agreed ranking.
Anyway, let's get on to the next one.
Shrek 3. Released in 2007, Shrek 3 follows our hero Shrek trying to find the only other possible heir to the kingdom of Far, Far Away once the king passes away.
But Prince Charming attempts to take the throne by force in Shrek's absence with the help of misunderstood villains.
Shrek must also deal with the truth that he will soon be a father.
Can Shrek find the new heir to the kingdom of Far, Far Away and save his family from Prince Not So Charming? Let's find out.
You didn't got a dog on my boy Charming like that.
Well, I mean,
to be fair,
he's the villain.
I think they call him Not So Charming literally in the movie. They literally say, like, you're not that charming.
Yeah. But I look charming. Do I not look charming?
As he's doing a play in, like, a bar.
Yeah.
For all of
the opening scene when all the fairy tale creatures like Gingy are like booing him.
They're just making fun of him, which is absolutely incredible. Mm-hmm. I think this movie is way overhated. Like, some people try to say this is like a horrible sequel. Like, this movie actually made people think the Shrek movies were never that good. Like, I've seen a bunch of people say after they saw Shrek 3.
That's crazy. That is a crazy
take.
Yeah.
But I really think this movie is not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see my ranking, but it's still very entertaining. There's still some good bits.
Yeah. We had to rewind the scene like 2 times. It's the scene where he's having a nightmare on the boat. And Donkey and Puss in Boots, who we somehow haven't mentioned yet, their faces were replaced by baby ogres. And then they just smash cut right to the one with Donkey's face, and he just goes, "Da da."
We had to rewind that, like he said, literally 3 times to be like, did I just see that correctly?
It's like they did not have to do that, but they still...
There's no conceivable reason in my head for them to do that. Just
they just did it
dead eyes, just da-da.
They just did it as part of their, the iconic Shrek fast cut humor, and it's like, that's why it works so well in these movies.
Yeah, it's like, all right. I mean, but the reason Shrek is having that nightmare is because Fiona reveals to him that she is pregnant. Yeah. And so Shrek not only has to deal with the possibility that he might have to be the new king,
which he doesn't want to do.
Which he does not want to do. He also has to deal with being a father, which is also something he doesn't think he wants to do.
Yeah. So...
relatable.
That ain't good. That ain't good for Shrek, but so that's why he goes to a island to get Arthur, who is voiced by Justin Timberlake, of all people, by the way.
I forgot Justin. It's like JT voices him. JT,
and then
Justin
there's
Timberlake.
Another smaller character at the same school that Arthur goes to, who's voiced by John Krasinski.
Yes.
Which is,
he's like
I recognized his voice, but not Justin Timberlake's. I don't know why.
Yeah. Arthur is like kind of a...
He's supposed to be like the...
kind of whiny, like dork.
He's supposed to be the one that everyone picks on.
Yes, that's his whole point is to be exactly like picked on by all the other kids.
Yeah. I don't want to say I saw that coming, but I did see that coming.
Because it's like, oh, ha, the guy who's supposed to be the heir to this kingdom is actually a dork.
Yeah, right.
Because every 80s movie ever, and 90s movie now that I think about it.
Yeah, let's not let's not go back to our thing in the 90s that we were doing in our run-through episode.
Yeah, we'll make fun of Mike DeMars for being old again, you know.
Just turned 31.
Yes, 31, not 21. He'll tell you 21. But
all right. Anyway, I mentioned that we didn't mention Puss in Boots.
Such a fun character.
It's just like, his character's so great. He's like initially in the second movie set up as a villain, but then he immediately pretty much switches sides.
He's like, I like you guys. I'm gonna repay my debt because I tried to kill you, Shrek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
he was so iconic. It, as we mentioned, spawned his own little 2-movie franchise so far.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen The Last Wish, but
crazy. It's such a good movie.
I've heard it's really good, and we probably should cover Puss in Boots at some point on the show. I feel like that's a franchise we should get into.
Told him we should review it for this episode, but he was like, no. Anyway, let's get to our ranking of Shrek the Third.
I have it in my 2. I think it's very overhated. I don't really. Yeah, like you were saying, like this movie made people think that like Shrek wasn't good. And I don't get where that came from, but
yeah, I think that's really silly.
Okay.
Even having it ranked last, it's not a movie I hate. This is one of the few weeks where
there's no movies in this franchise that I like hate.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've definitely had times where we have movies that we hate. There's no movie here that we hate.
All right.
But anywho, we have to take one more quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will rank Shrek Forever After.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No.
Spin the wheel. Oh, you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to.
And welcome back to Be Kind and Rewind. Let's not waste any more of your time and get right back to the franchise.
Released in 2010, Shrek Forever After is the last mainline Shrek film, for now.
Shrek is starting to miss his old life as a scary ogre, as he now feels like a joke, even though he has everything.
He makes a deal to go back to be the feared ogre for just one day in exchange for any day in his past.
But the villain Rumpelstiltskin makes it so that where Shrek was never born, so he gets control of Far, Far Away, and Shrek will disappear. How will Shrek make things right? Let's find out.
So yes, as we just mentioned, Shrek is like...
Shrek
is upset. He feels like he's a joke to everyone.
His house is now a side-of-the-road attraction for a bunch of tourists.
I think it's supposed to be like a play on like those Hollywood bus tours where they like see the celebrities' houses, which that's just weird to me.
Mm-hmm. But
if I ever become famous, don't come to where I live.
So yeah,
people.
basically, he runs into Rumpelstiltskin, and he basically signs his contract to be a scary ogre again for one day. But Rumpelstiltskin tricks him, and so... Because Rumpelstiltskin takes the day Shrek was born.
And so makes it to... Basically implies he killed Shrek before he was born, because he makes it to where Shrek was never born.
Yeah, and...
So that he could never save Fiona from the tower, and then... They show at the beginning of the movie Fiona's parents were originally going to make a deal with Rumpelstiltskin, and that's how Rumpelstiltskin was going to get control of Far, Far Away. But then, right before they sign it, they get the news that someone saved Fiona from the tower.
Which ended up being Shrek.
Yes.
So, yeah, and now we basically go into an alternate timeline where Shrek never existed, which is a very interesting idea, I do have to say.
Yeah,
I think
kind of pulling an It's a Wonderful Life with the Shrek franchise, just showing, like, what would happen if you didn't exist. I mean, I feel like even in real life, some of us have done that scenario in our heads, like, gee, I wonder, like, how different people's lives would be if I didn't exist. So I kind of like movies that show that idea, because it's a pretty interesting idea to pursue, I think.
Especially in an already established franchise like this one. Like, there were some characters that didn't really change a lot from the different universes, but then especially characters like Fiona, who is now the leader of an ogre resistance.
Because like, Rumpelstiltskin's trying to like take out all the ogres.
Yeah, because Rumpelstiltskin still like is aware of Shrek like existing in this other universe.
Yes.
And so he's taking it out on all the ogres so that like because Shrek's an ogre.
He blames Shrek for all his failures because he was initially going to get the kingdom if he makes this deal with Fiona's parents, but because Shrek saved Fiona, like, just basically ruined his life. He ends up being literally a bum on the side of the road to where he's getting kicked out of a bookstore that Pinocchio works at.
Yeah.
Because he was tearing out all the pages of a fairy tale. Rumpelstiltskin is again a very funny villain.
He's very funny, but he might be one of the most evil villains in the franchise, honestly.
He is pretty evil.
Because so yeah, and Far, Far Away is also like his guards are the witches.
Who were also shown like in his like little township at the beginning, where like because they're also like outcasts in this society.
So yeah, basically, and his best friend's a goose, a giant goose.
That'll be important later.
Yeah. Wait till we get to the train wreck.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, and yeah, in this universe, Fiona's parents never exist because they got...
Well, they exist, but Rumpelstiltskin takes them out because he actually makes the deal with them this time.
Yeah. So...
And Fiona basically doesn't believe in true love anymore, like she did in the
because, yeah, she's
timeline.
this tough resistance leader now.
Tough.
So, yeah. There's a whole lot of new characters that get in there. Like Craig Robinson voices one ogre, and I think he's really funny.
Doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's the
chimichanga stand.
Yeah,
it's my chimichanga stand.
We're not gonna Cookie. We're not gonna need that.
Trust me, you're gonna get real hungry after this raid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they somehow show up at the end once Shrek, because Shrek, the only way to break his contract with Rumpelstiltskin is true love's kiss, which obviously
happens.
is with Fiona at the end, right before his time runs out. And that resets everything. It resets to the moment where Shrek kind of lost his cool at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it was at the kid's first birthday party when he did the... Yeah, that kid.
I love you, Daddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine. You can imagine that. I can't.
We do not need to bring that up again. Anyway.
Just kidding. I love my stepdad.
Let's get to the rankings. Yeah, it's last for me, but I still really like it a lot. I think just for me, it's just because of like some of the inconsistencies with the end.
Yeah,
just like,
that's kind of why I have it
like
below the first one even.
It's just like the Pied Piper isn't there in their universe. The other ogres aren't there in their universe.
Pied Piper.
Yeah. He's also a bounty hunter in this movie, by the way, so that's where he comes in.
And like his music doesn't just hypnotize rats; it can hypnotize literally any creature, including witches or ogres. Like, okay.
But anyway.
Anywho.
Remember when we mentioned the train wreck?
Basically, if you're new here, we have a segment every episode where we have the train wreck, and it's basically just what we think is the worst moment from all the movies, or in this case, worst and kind of just funniest.
It's also really dark in this case somehow.
Yes, in a certain way,
There's
very
a whole
dark.
bunch of things wrong with this part. Now let's get that up on the screen.
Let's get it on the screen.
So basically how this is actually in the ending credits of Shrek 4. And so they're all celebrating because Shrek's back, he's happy again, and they, for some reason, have Rumpelstiltskin in a cage. And so Fiona has this power where if she sings high enough, birds will blow up. Yeah, you can see where that goes.
That is Rumpelstiltskin's best friend is this goose. And Fiona sings loud enough to make this goose explode.
And then they show a cut of Shrek literally dying of laughter,
pointing and laughing. And then, you remember we mentioned the Pied Piper. He starts playing the flute and making Rumpelstiltskin dance right after he just witnessed the death of his only friend.
It's so messed up. Like
I mean, it's one of those things where you could say couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, you know. But it's still like strangely dark, even for like Shrek, to just do that.
Yeah.
It's the fact. My favorite bit is it's only like a millisecond on screen, but it is, like you said, Shrek literally pointing and laughing at the just feet of this goose that are left. Yeah. That is all that's
like
left.
Literally his back is like hunched over and everything. That is how hard he's laughing at the death of this guy's friend.
And then, could you imagine something like that? You just witnessed that, and then you gotta start hitting a little jig that you can't control.
Oh my God!
The dance we just did is actually surprisingly close to the one in the movie.
I think so. I watched it earlier. It's pretty similar to that.
We also watched it to review this.
Fair. That's fair enough. But yeah, so
after that
note, we'll go.
We can do our final rankings.
We'll go back through the rankings.
Just give some last thoughts.
Basically, as a review, Shrek 1 for me at 1, for
Number
him
2
at 2.
for me. Very iconic. I just prefer another movie in this franchise a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which is Shrek 2.
That one I don't like as much as him, but you know, it's still a very good movie in my opinion. I don't know why I'm doing this pose, but I will stop now.
You know, the villains are quite cool.
Yeah.
I like cool villains. No.
But yeah. So anyway, for Shrek the Third, I had it at number 2, very underrated.
I had it last. I also agree it's underrated, but just my least favorite of the franchise. I think bringing Prince Charming back was a good choice, but I think the other characters surrounding him aren't as interesting.
They also had some of the other princesses in this movie as well, like Sleeping Beauty and Rapunzel.
Rapunzel actually ends up making a big heel turn. If you know, all my wrestling fans out there, you know the term heel turn. She joins up with Charming to be like his wife and says one of the more iconic lines in the movie. But Pookie, you said you wouldn't hurt them. Finish it.
Nah, I'm good.
Finish it.
I'm good. It's too embarrassing to do on this show.
Finish it. Nobody's watching. It's not like your family's watching this. Oh, wait a minute.
But yeah, anyway. See, they got it on the screen before us because they were tired of what we were doing.
They were tired of us talking.
But yeah, for the final chapter, I had number 4 for
I had
that
it
one.
at 3. I think it's very entertaining, also very underrated.
Yeah.
Just like he kind of mentioned, just some inconsistencies with the ending, just kind of.
Yeah, it's just like they didn't really know a lot of the characters that were in the ending.
That was my main thing.
In that universe.
I don't understand how the ogres show up again.
They don't even know Rumpelstiltskin, really, except for Shrek and Fiona's mother.
Yeah.
They're the only ones who actually like knew Rumpelstiltskin.
So I think that's kind of a plot hole if you want to be real nitpicky about it.
It's a kids movie. After we just dissed on it for that whole minute or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that is going to do it for our season 3 premiere of Be Kind and Rewind. There's our Instagram if you want to go follow.
I think it's the first time it's actually come up. We've had it in the script for so long. I think it's the first time. Good job, graphics. Love you.
Great job. Especially you, Michael.
Yes.
Michael
we
DeMars.
dissed you earlier, but we love you.
Enjoy your 31st birthday.
In 2 weeks, we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not reviewing a specific franchise. We're reviewing a type of movie, which is a subgenre, if you will, and that is 80s B movies. Basically just an excuse to talk about some of our favorite really goofy movies. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
But yeah.
You know what?
But on the other hand, that'll be it for tonight for our show. And we will see you next time. And be sure to be kind.
And rewind.